Hi guys, and welcome to Unity tutorial of a Fortnite Style Piano. Let me show you guys how this works. So I'm going to get the amateur just to get that. So let's let him keep going. There we go. So I'm going to let him come back. This tutorial is actually at a request of one of my VR site out there. Yeah, that's just how it works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just take you guys straight into Unity tutorial. I'm going to put one of these together. We'll start a new one entirely. I'm just going to click on new. I'm using 2021. Let's come in here. You see right in here, I'm going to select the third person and I'm going to give my project a name. I just call it Piano. Right. And I'm going to click on create. Okay guys, my development environment is ready. So what I want to do is, you see the amateur here, I want to add my piano there, and the game object I intend to use is going to be the cube. Here, let's place a cube in there. Just drag it that much. Something like that. I'm going to take it down a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. And I will now get this zero tool here, the scaling tool, and just scale it that much. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, that is going to be my C note. Okay, I'm going to also change the name to cube C note. There we go. So that's my very first one. Now, but there's one thing I want to do, because I'm going to end up with about 18 of those. I'm going to right click on this and let's select create empty game object. My empty game object, I'm going to call that note cubes. There we go. And grab my C notes, cube C notes, just dump it in there. Now the next thing I want to do is to come right here. You see where we have the box collider, make sure that is checked, and that's it that you need to do in there. I'm also going to drag the music notes. Let me grab hold of music note and just drag it on board. There we go. And right there I have my music notes. One other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click inside the projector area here and let's create an empty folder. Actually, I'm going to call that piano. Right, that's the piano in there. Double click on the piano, and inside the piano I'm now going to right click and let's select create, and that will be material. This material, that will be white, so let's change the name to white. I'm going to create another material, and this one is going to be black. Let's see, where's material again? There we go. That's black. Now select the black material and come right here where we have surface input. I think it used to be called albedo, so it's now called surface input, I believe. Just click in there and change that to black. There, that is it, black. Okay, now you see the C note here. I'm also going to add mesh collider. So go back to my add component and add mesh collider there. And the mesh collider that is added, Scroll right down, make sure you find the mouse collider. You see where we have convex, make sure it is checked. And you see where we have is triggered, make sure that is checked as well. And one other thing we want to do, while selected, come right up here where we have on tag, click on that and select add tag. Inside add tag, click on the plus sign and let's just call that C notes. There. If you select your component, the C note is not officially attached to it. So come right here, grab the C note and add that. There we go. Now the C note is added to it. Okay, I'm going to create another empty game object here. Right click and select empty game object. This empty game object, I'm going to change the name to music. There. And let's create another empty game object and come right here and let's change the name of this other empty game object to note C. There. I will now drag note C and drop it inside the music empty game object. There we go. Music empty game object, and we have in here notes. But the one we want to work on now is the music empty game object C. Now come to the folder here where we have music. Double click on that and drag note C and drop it right on top of note C right there. Click on it and that is it. One thing I'm going to advise you guys to do is to make sure you click on, you see where we have on play, make sure it's unchecked. If it's checked, it will start playing right away and you don't want that. That is that done. The music empty game object, now drag it and dump it right inside the main camera. Create the music object, this one. Dump everything right inside the camera. That is that done. But there's one thing though. You see this very one here? I was meant to change the color white, and that is why we have material. So let's come in here, click on my and select the white material and just dump it on it. There we go. That will be my white notes. Okay, let's run it and see what's going to happen. Look at that. You see that? It actually walk right into it. But if we uncheck and try to run it, he will not walk right into it. So let's select it again. And you see where we have box collider? I've just unchecked that. I'm going to run it now. You see that? It's now being able to walk straight into it. And one other thing I notice is it seems to be a bit too high. So let's see if he can jump above. Okay, that might be fine. Alright, you see where we have is triggered. Make sure the box collider where it says it's triggered, make sure it is checked because it has to be checked. We're going to find another way around this to make sure we're able to play the music. But before we do anything, let's create our music notes. You see the piano that I created in here? Double click on the piano folder, right click inside the piano folder, select script, and that script you can call it whatever you like. I'm just going to call it piano something music. Let's say play music. Alright, play music. There we go. Double click on play music, or you can always select open right here. There. It's coming up now. Okay, my programming environment is ready. I'm going to first of all get rid of these methods now, and let's declare the following. Let's say public audio, and that is going to be source, audio source. And the very first one, I'm going to call that C underscore notes. That will be for my C notes. And the other thing is, let's take care of the very first one. I'm going to use a function here. Let's say void, and that is going to be onTrigger. So I'm going to say onTrigger. That's the event I intend to use. OnTriggerEnter. Let's say the method is going to be collider. So, and that's going to be collider. Let's go for other. Now come right down, enter curly braces. So once it collides with the cube, this is what I want it to do. So let's say if order.gameObject dot instead of active, I can just make that compare, because I want it to compare the tag that we have in there. So I'm going to say if order dot game object let's say dot compare tag, and the tag that we're comparing is going to be the very first tag that we entered that I called C notes. If you guys can still recall, there, that is the tag that was attached to the cube. So enter curly braces. So if it collide with that, we now want this very music note. Okay, audio source music note dot play, and that is it. There we go. So that was my very first lines of code. Yeah, okay, let's save that, and I'm going to go back to my development environment. Now it is compiling. Okay, it's finished compiling. This very script, I'm now going to drag it and drop it on the player amateur here. So let's collapse all of this box, whatever. Yeah, you see the player amateur? That is it right there. The player amateur from the starter asset. So grab it and just dump it on it. There we go. Now let's see our lines of code. Scroll down on the property area. That is the property. It's now asking me where is the music note. If you can still recall the music notes, I created an empty game object and created another one, and that is the music note right there. And I also uncheck play on awake. So select the player amateur, scroll right down the variable C note. Now drag the C note or note C, dump it right there. There we go. So let's try out our whatever we put together. Let's just see if the C note is going to work. So let's see. But it worked right into it. We don't want that. We want him. We just want him to just step through and that's it. But the problem is, I don't know if you guys have a way for that. That would be great. So let me end that. If I uncheck, select the cube, if I there uncheck this very mesh collider, let's say I uncheck this is triggered, I won't hear the sound anymore. You see that? I can't go through even if I jump, nothing. Maybe there's something I am doing wrong. If you can find a solution to that, that would be great. So you see the mesh collider, I'm going to return it back. So what I want to do now is, you see this very one, I'm going to copy it. I'll make a copy of it. I'm going to right click on that very cube and create a duplicate. There. You see, with the duplicated copy, I'm just going to call it cover C. Cover C notes. There we go. With the cover C note, first of all, let's hide this other one. Come right here, just hide that. Okay, with the cover C notes, I'm going to push it down a little bit. There we go. Something like that. Or maybe just reduce it or whatever. Come in here, make that 0.5 and take it down. So if I run it, that's what you see. That's the cover C note. Well, I'm going to get rid of the mesh on it, and I'm also going to just get rid. You see where we have on trigger? Uncheck that. Uncheck the is triggered. So if I run it, nothing will happen. But it's now solid. Okay? Now, but the difference is I'm just going to be using it for the visible music note that you guys will see. Okay, we can walk right into it. Now the other one that is not visible, that is it right there. I'm going to bring it back to life. There we go. Checked. Now the mesh, look at the mesh render. I'm going to uncheck that so that you are not able to see it. So if I run my program now, look at what happened. You see that? Okay, that is how I've managed to play the music notes. I know there's a way around it. So if you guys find a very much better way, please let me know on the description area. Okay, that's my music note for the very first one. I will also drag the cube C note, drag it straight into the cover C note. There, so that they become one. You see that? Run. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to copy these and make 11 of those. Alright, stop that. Now come right here, right click. Let's see, should be able to make 11 of those. Right click, and let's see in here, we do have that. So I'm going to change this one to cube D note, and this will become cover D notes. There we go. And we also have, let's create another one that will be E notes. Get rid of that, enter E here. There, and drop this down, select this, enter E here as well. There. Okay, those three we do for now. So let's select them individually. Select the very first one, drag it away. Let's make sure it selects, it's selecting both. Yep. Just drag it on the side. So we have that right there. That is the D notes. Now E notes. I just want to be on the safe side, make sure I select it all, drag the E notes, place it right on the side, just beside the other one. This D notes, move it and this one as well, and let's move that. Alright, for those two other notes that I've just created, I'm now going to create tag for them, and maybe even create all the required tags. So just select one of them, come right here, you see where we have the tag, drop it down. We now want to click on add tag. The next one is going to be D. That should be lowercase d notes. We have D notes saved. We want E note there. Create another one, F note, G note, and another one that will be A note. Save. Let's create another one that will be B notes. In total I need 18 of those. Then we have that will be C1 note. C1 note. Here we have a B, then the C1 note. There's a B. Yep. And another one. Then we have D1 note. D1 note. And E1 notes. Then we have F1 notes. Save. In total, the white keys, that is 11. So drop this down again. So let's create another 7 for the black keys. So that would be CS notes. That would stand for C sharp note. Then we have DS note. And after that, then we have GS note. Then we have double B note. Then we have CS1 note. A C sharp 1 note, something like that. Then we have DS1 notes. There we go. Those are all my tags taken care of. Now, these very ones that I've just, those cubes, I can add tags straight to them. So this one will be D notes. And this one beside that, that is E notes. So those three are taken care of. Now let's go back to the codes. Now that is the code. I'm now going to create another variable 1 2, and this is going to be D, this is going to be E, and just copy this, come right down, paste, and this one is D note, and this will become D as well. Now paste that again, this will become E notes, and this is E note. Save. Very good. So we're getting somewhere. Now let's go straight to our editor. Now inside the editor is just compiling the lines of code that we just added to make sure it works as expected. Okay, it's finished compiling now. So let's come straight into the main camera here. Okay, we now want to add their music note. So right click and let's create a duplicate, and let's change that to note D. Inside note D D, we now want to add music note D into that. So come into your folder here and select music note D. That is it right there. Drag and drop there. Okay, make sure that is selected. Okay, so let's drop this down and scroll right down to make sure the music note D, that's it right there. Okay, play on awake is unchecked. Now right click on music note D and let's create another duplicate. This duplicate, I'm going to call it note E. There. Now make sure note E is selected and let's look for music note E. That's it right there. Drag and just dump it right into the audio clip right there. Okay, now make sure you select the armature. Now we now want to add the notes to the variables that is there. D note, drag note D, drop it in there. E note, drag note E and drop it in there. There, that is it, done. We can now try out our program to make sure it works as we want. Now okay, that is now working, so let's see why. Alright, so let's go back in there, select E, oh not that very one, this very one here, and let's make sure we have tag on it. Let's see, there a tag. Yeah, there is a tag on it, and there's a tag there as well. Music note E. Yeah, that is fine. And let's go straight into the code and see what I've done wrong. Alright, so that is fine as well. But right in here, I've noticed what I've done. Look at it, this is in uppercase. Remember, it is case sensitive. So the tag is meant to be lowercase e note. Save that. And let's go back to our editor. As you can see, it's now compiling. Then we'll try it out again. And the tag is also telling me, or it is telling me the tag is not defined. Okay, so it is defined now. So let's see, it is defined. The tag is E note. So that's fine. Now run it. Let's see how that works. Get the armature on board. 1, 2. Very good. So it's working as we want. That's very good. So we can now just copy and speed it up a little bit. So I'm going to select all of this, just move it there so that we have enough room. Now select every single component in there, right click and duplicate. Now drag, so that will make 6. Repeat the same thing, right click, duplicate, drag. We have 9. We're gonna need 2 more. Okay, so come right down, we just need the last 2. Okay, right click and duplicate, drag. We have 11. No, we have 10. Right click, duplicate, and 11 there. Okay, that is fine. We now need to give them a name, their own unique name. So this very one here, this is going to be known as cover. Let's make sure it's selected. Cover F. Cover F. And the cube is cube F note. There. Now the tag should be F tag. There we go. F note. And that is fine. We can tag this as well. though we don't have to, but it's all the same. That's fine. Now the next one here is the G, so let's change that to G. I guess you guys get the whole idea. So that's going to be G, and the tag will be G note. There. Drop this down, select that, change this to G. Uppercase G. Tag should be G note. Where is it? There we go. That is fine. So we now need to do the B. Take care of this. Okay, get it, tag. What the tag does is actually just pointing the amateur to the right direction, so it's very handy. You need a tag. If you don't use the tag, then you can always use a raycast. So that is going to be B. There. Now the next one here, I think there should be A before G, so I'm going to change this. I want it to be in order. I'm going to make this one A. That's A, and this is going to be tag A. Now drop this down, change this to A as well, and that is tag A. There we go. Now this underneath will be B. Oh, I did not press enter. There we go. Now this, that is B. And right inside it is B. Now we have C. Get rid of that. That's a C1. And C1 will be tagged as C1 note. It's not saved. Okay, let's delete that again. C1, you must press enter, else it's not going to take it. And this one is C1 as well. Right. And this B does not have a tag. That tag should have been B. That's good. And this is B tagged as well. B. There we go. Alright, B is taken care of. Let's see A. A is taken care of anyway. C is tagged. C1 is tagged. That's good. Now this one is D1. D1. Make sure you press enter and tag it as D1. The inner cube, which is the one that I actually get rid of the mesh, let's change that to D1 as well. D1. And press enter. Tag is D1. D1. Yep. That's good. And the next one here, E1. Press enter. Tag is E1 note. Then the inner cube, that is E1 as well. Press enter. The tag is E1. Very good. And finally, for the white keys, F1. Change this to F1. Tag is F1 note. And the cube inside it, drop it down, screw right down, grab the cube, That's F1, F1. Press enter, change the tag, F1. There. That is that all done. Now, another long process is to create every single one of the music notes to add it here. So I'm going to select this, right click, duplicate. We have 6, we have 9, just 2 more. There. So that takes care of the white key. So select this. That is meant to be D. There. See the note? We grab that off. No, we have D already. So that should be F. Yeah. And you now need the music note F. Drag F, drop it right in there. Next one, that will be G. Drag music note G, drop it right there. Make sure play on awake is unchecked. Now we have A, I believe that should be A. Yeah, A. Drag A note, drop it there. And the next one here is B. Drag music note B there. And we now have C1. C1. Drag music note C1, that is it right there, drop it there. Followed by D1. Music note D1, drop it there. Then we have E1. Drag music note E1. There we go. Drop it there. I'm showing the whole process so that you guys will be able to just do it your own way. F1. Drag F1, drop it there. That is it, all done. Now, the next thing we want to do is go back to our code. We now need to take care of the codes. I'm going to copy all of these, but before that, let's create all our variables. I might as well just take care of all of the variables now and get that out of the way. Alright, so what we need to do is just copy and paste. In total I need 18, but I'm going to just copy, paste, 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 and we have 15. Let's paste 2 more. There we go. Now all done. This first 3 is taken care of, and this one is going to be music notes F. As F, we have G here, and we have A. That would be B, and here is C1. C1 note, D1, E1, F1. This one will be CS1. And this one is going to be DS1. Then we have G1, GS. No, this one is actually CS, C sharp. Yeah, CS, DS, and this is going to be FS. Then after that we have GS, and here we have double B, and underneath here that will be CS1, and finally DS1. Okay, all done. Those are all my variables that I intend to use. So let's go right down to the codes. So have a good look at these variables. Yes. All right. I'm going to grab hold of all of these, copy, paste. Let's put a line here so that you guys see, so that you notice there's no error. So the next one, I'm going to copy all of this, copy it with the line. So the next three that I'm going to take care of, paste. And this is E, so this will be F, all in lowercase. No, that should be in lowercase f, then this will be in uppercase. Then we have G, lowercase g and uppercase F, no, uppercase G. Then we have A, uppercase A. There, that should be uppercase. So that is that done. The next one, so that will be B, and here is uppercase B. Then we have C1, uppercase C1, D1, D1. This should be 1. Okay. Now we need 2 more here. D, this should be E, E1, and E1 here, uppercase. Then F1, F1, and this is F1. Alright, now the next one here is CS1, and all in uppercase here, CS1. I believe it's all in uppercase. Yeah. No, that should just be CS. It's not CS1. CS1 is the last one. Delete that one. Delete the one. Okay. That's good. Paste. After CS1 we have, after CS we have DS. DS. And this is DS. Then we have FS, then GS, and GS here. Right, so let's see the codes, the variables again. GS, so we now need just 3 more. Bring it down. Paste. So after G we have double B, and this double B here will be uppercase. Then we have CS1, and this is CS1, then DS1. Okay, DS1. I think it's all done. Alright, so I will advise you guys to name your variables in an easy way so that you will recognize which note belongs to which. And I will also make this music note available, so you just click on it and you should be able to get access to download it. So let's come right down here. Now we're compiling everything, and then we can add the notes to all of these. So the codes is all taken care of now. Okay, back in the editor, let's select the player amateur, and if you scroll right down we should be able to see all of our variables. There they are. So I'm going to now select F notes. Let's come in here, F, drag, drop. Then we get hold of G, we get hold of A, drop A in there, B, and C1. You see, that is why it's good to name it the way you will understand. D1, E1, and F1. The order that is remaining will be for the black key notes, so there should be 7 of those. Yes, that is correct. Alright, I'm going to try that out now. Let's come in here and just enlarge the screen, maximize the screen, run. So all of these I should be able to play them. Let's start from the beginning. Let's keep going. The next one. That's good. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's good. It's working. Alright, so alright, that's it. That's how it's done. So all we then need to now do is just to take care of the black key notes. So to take care of these black key notes, I might as well just copy and paste again. So I'm gonna come right here. First thing first, let's create our keynote. We need 7 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Select all of that. Right click and create duplicate right underneath here. Okay, so this one is going to be known as CS in uppercase, CS. And the CS, that is the note for CS. Drop it there. This is going to be DS. DS note. Where is it? It's underneath here, I believe. DS. Yeah, there we go. Drop. Then after the DS, we should have FS, and FS, drop. Then we have GS, drag GS on board. There, the GS node. Then we have double B, drag the double B. There we go. Then we have CS1, CS1, drag CS1, that is it there, drop it right there. Finally, we have DS1, drag DS1, take it down, DS1, there we go, and drop it right there. So all our music notes are now in place. So for now, let's select the player amateur again and just drag and drop the music notes on board. Bring it down. So we want as follow: DS1, drop, CS1, drop, double B, drop, GS, drag and drop, FS, drag and drop, DS, drop, CS, drop. Now all of the variables are taken care of. We now need the black key notes. So come right here. We can collapse this now. We don't need it anymore. Drop this down. We need the black key notes. I'm going to first of all just copy one of these. Yeah, let's copy this very one. Right click and create a duplicate. There we go. That is it right there. And what we want to do now is just to reduce the, okay, let's first of all, let's see where it is. Go back to the, yeah, that is it right there. Alright, so I'm going to bring it out here so that I can reduce it. and get the scalar. That's the scalar there. Just reduce it there. I'm now going to change the whole color. Back into my asset, double click on this folder and grab this and just dump it on top. There, that is it, done. Okay, now that that is done, so we now need to change the name. I think this is the last, that's the very first one. Okay, so that is going to be CS, and get rid of this there, and the content inside it as well, we need to change that to CS, and the note should be CS. We need note CS. No, the tag CS. There we go. And this is CS. Okay, the main one as well. If you want, you can just give it a yeah, that's fine. Alright, now that that is done, I'm going to use the move tool. Just move it there. Kind of like center it like that. But I'm going to have to drag it up a little bit. Bring it right up a little bit, just tiny a little bit. Right. Something like that. There. I'm going to run it. I think it may give me an error for now, but let's see. Yeah, it looks good anyway, so let's see. Yeah. Let's go in there and see. Yeah, it's working. Very good. So my black key is there now. So I need 6 more of those. Click. Where is it? That is it right here. Bring it down. Right click. To duplicate. That would be my D. Change that to D. DS. And the notes will be DS. Where is it? DS. There. You have to press enter. DS. Now, the inner one, let's make sure that is changed as well. Select DS and change the note to DS. There. And drag and position it. Undo that. I'm meant to drag them both. Yeah. Need a bit of room. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we now need 3 here. Alright, now select this. We need F. Yeah, that should be, no, yeah, that's FS. Okay, drag that, FS. Now change this to FS. Drop this down, change the node, FS. Where is F? FS. Oh, it seems not to have node FS. You see, it's actually telling me here FX is not defined. Alright, thank you. So let's create a tag called FS. Add FS note. There we go. Now I have FX in there. Now select my FS and assign FS node. There we go. Let's make sure the inside have FX as well. Change that to FX. There, that is fine. So we now need, I'm gonna copy that now. Let's copy FS and change that to GS. duplicate, drag and drop. We are almost done. So I know it's now a little bit longer, but too bad. I have to show the whole process for you guys. This is for my beginners. Okay, there. Now drop this down. We have GS node, and replace that. We need a GS here. Oh, I should have pressed enter. GS. That should be in uppercase. GS, and the inner node, that should be GS. Now change the node to GS node there, and this one I hope is GS node. Yeah, GS node. Okay, we have GS, so we need double B. Right click, duplicate, change this to double B. And node double B. There. Drop this down and get hold of double B here. This will become double B as well. Press enter. The node should be double B. Very good. Almost there. Now this is going to be CS1. Node should be CS1. Now drop this down, select the inner cube, that is CS1. And the tag is CS1. That is done. Whoa, I was meant to drag them. Get hold of double B, drag it, paste that here. Now get hold of CS1. CS1, yeah. Drag, yeah, something like that. Bring it here. Yep, that's fine. Now, right click. We need DS1, and that is DS1. D. Now the tag will be DS1. Scroll down, and the inner part of it will be DS1 as well. DS1. Now node to be DS1. DS1 and DS1, and that is it. Drag this and place it right here. Okay, I think we are done. Okay guys, now I'm gonna run it and try it out. I believe it's all done now. Click on run. Now, okay, so we need that's fine, but I just noticed this one missing here, that is DS. That should be here somewhere. D, yeah, D is missing. Right over there, that should be D. Okay, let's grab hold of C, right click, CS, duplicate, and change this to D. Change the details to DS. There. Do that again and press enter. DS. Now drop that down and yeah, change this to DS. DS. The node or the tag, I mean, should be DS. Very good. All done. So now let's grab hold of DS and just set it right beside it. We'll undo that. That's DS, that's DS, select it all. Right there. Yeah, that's fine. So all of these other one from C, no, C, this is F, G, and B, and D, and double B. So drag them here. That's how it was meant to be. Right. Now, all done. So I'm gonna run. There we go, guys. This is how it's looking now. So let's try out our music notes. Okay, let's go. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That is fine. And that is how you create your own music note in Unity using the starter asset. I know it's a little bit long tutorial, but you guys will enjoy it. So give that a shot. And I'll see you guys later. You all have a nice day now. Bye for now.